Okay, here we are. So, good morning, everybody, whoever is watching this. What's the plan today? The plan is this. So, yesterday evening, night, maybe, I don't remember when it was, maybe, yeah, quite late in my evening. So, Sundell finally published his static site generator for Swift developers. And my brain works like this. This seed was planted yesterday, so I can't really resist to take a look, otherwise I'm not gonna be enjoying the day. And it's a quite special day today. So I thought, let me take a look quickly, see how it works, see what he has done, because I'm really curious about it, and then let's just move on with the rest of our lives. Why I'm so interested in this? Well, I've been following it for a while, and he has already published a couple of other tools. I think probably if we take a look at his user profile in GitHub, we'll see that he has published Plot, which is to write basically HTML in Swift, and which one was Ink, which is basically a markdown parser for Swift, which was quite interesting because people started asking him why he wrote it from scratch instead of using a wrapper on existing markdown C libraries, basically for compatibility, which it's something I'm curious to see how it develops, because I mean both sides had a good point on that discussion, so it's interesting. But why I'm so keen on this? Well, as you may know, I have my own website for many years, and I've been using static site generators for a while now. So first I think I used Jekyll, and now I'm using Gatsby. And I was curious to see the approach that John was gonna take with Publish. Before continuing with this, it's super important that you understand that I haven't done anything with Publish. So I really don't know what I'm doing. The only thing I've seen is I've looked at the README a little bit to see how it worked, and the installation steps, which was expected, and I was surprised to see that there is a small command line tool. And that's really interesting because all of these tools have some kind of command line tool to help people kickstart a project, or to automate some stuff like deployment or creating new articles or whatever they do. So it's quite interesting that we also have this on this library, and it's probably the way I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna install the command line tool and create a new website. And even if it's just basically what I want to do is I want to install it, read through, take a look at the API, how it works, what are the possibilities, and compare it maybe with some of the stuff that I've done in the past, because I had a prototype of a similar tool when the time when the Swift package manager was released, because it has this Swift package file. There was a Swift file that the SPM tool kind of ran with the Swift compiler, and it did something weird in there, so I had to look at that. And with that I created basically a small prototype from a static generator that used a Swift file as a configuration. It's not exactly the same thing that it's being done here, and this is more basically straightforward, but but you need to actually compile the application. That one was more in the sense of you just use a tool to generate instead of you integrate a library, and that's the big difference. So I'm gonna take my cup of tea here and just start going through this. My New Year resolution is not gonna be move my website to this, of course, but I want to. It's been a while since I wanted to two things. I've always wanted this website to have different sections, and it's not easy with any of the tools. I basically wanted kind of like for people that is interested more in the Swift side of things, that if you go to the Swift page, to the coding page, for example, you don't have to read about stuff that it's not about Swift, you know. So I can point people to a coding website directly. It's still under my same domain, and I don't want to split things because this is my identity and I want to keep that way. But I also have stuff about world building and fantasy writing, and I want to publish that here. But of course I don't want to mess with the coding side of things, so I always have this issue, not only here but YouTube, everywhere, or whatever. So maybe what I can do is think about that and see how it will work, see if it's possible or not. I don't know, let's give it a try. So again, I don't know what I'm doing, just take a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you're drinking and sit down and relax. So let's start by installing the it's gonna be fun. It seems that OBS is working now on Catalina, but you never know. You never know. So I should be able to do this and sit into Blee and make. And this, I'm expecting it's compiling the command line tool from publish, which is quite easy to see if you know what they're looking for. If we go to the package, yes, exactly. So publish, it's this library that you can use to make the website, and it also has an executable, which is the command line tool, and it has different targets. Okay. Yeah, so the CLI uses core and core uses publish. Fair enough. And publish is the library that we use. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. So yeah, we're running, and as you can see, we're compiling the command line tool, and that's, I guess that make at the end installs into our path. Yes, exactly. See, when things are done as expected, they are quite easy to understand. So let's wait for this, and now if we create, okay. So let's just wait a little bit for this. So while this is happening, I guess I can talk for a second about the difference of how this is made. If you take a look, for example, Jekyll. Yeah, if you take a look at these or many of these tools, this is the one I use for most of my time, even if I was not super keen into it. Basically, when you create these things, is there a way that it has a so you install this tool, Jekyll, and then step-by-step tutorial, you create a site by adding the files, and then you call Jekyll build, and boom, it works. Because this is basically, it's based a lot in convenience. So you put the files in the specific places where they expect it, and they just build it for you. There is configuration, that's for sure. There is configuration, and here is where you can see the difference. Because here is where you specify what is the source, the encoding, if there is drafts and stuff like that. So it's basically, you just have I think it's a YAML file, which I hate, and from that they basically you are just using a tool. That's the important thing. Instead, if you go to Gatsby.js, which is the one that I'm using now, and it's probably right now one of the most popular ones, in part because it's using React in the front end, and that's why probably it doesn't work. So what this does, what I love about Gatsby is the pipeline they have set up, because they have completely separated the concept of data sources through the build step and the deployment. So you can have many different data sources that they pipe into a GraphQL kind of scheme, and then from the GraphQL scheme you build your website. So you can change the data source behind the scenes, and that's super powerful. In any way, the idea with this is different than with the generators like Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The idea with this is that you create basically a node application, an NPM application, and Jekyll is this library, is this node NPM package, which comes with tons shit of dependencies, but that's the one that you use to create your, basically you're just creating a React application with a lot of things already done for you, and basically a basic framework. It's like when you do an iOS application, that you have everything basically done for you with the view controllers and all the stuff. So here you're using the same. You're using already existing components, the structure, the configuration, the generation, all of that is done for you, and you just put it together. So the main difference here is this concept of you are using a tool here that you can configure, and it has a lot of configuration, and sometimes depending on the tool it's more based on configuration or on convenience, where you put things on known places and it just does the thing for you. And the other side of the coin, which is more recent, I would say, it's this idea that you use this library to generate your website, which is just another application, and the library does everything for you. So the idea is that Publish uses this more modern second approach, and thanks to that it can use so many cool features from Swift, because it's basically a Swift application. That's pretty cool. So now that we have this, let's see what's the command. So quick start, there we go. So if I basically go up one level, and let's call it, I don't know, Alejandro World Building, and then we go inside, and now we have this new maybe I have to reload this. There you go. Now we can do I'm not sure if you are seeing this, by the way. Publish new, bam. And as you can see, the only thing that it does is it creates the folder structure, which I cannot see with this new theme. There you go. It creates the folder structure, which is just a Swift package. It's the package file, the resources folder, and the sources. And to be honest, the resources is not even default. And then it adds this content, which has the posts. So this is quite interesting and good to understand, because this is just a Swift package. If you double click this and you open it, thanks to Xcode 11, which is the biggest thing they did, they now understand SPM. So if we wait a little bit for this to fetch the library that it needs, and you can see what it needs, we're going to take a look now at everything that it needs. But the idea is that this is just a Swift package. So if you want to do whatever you want to extend this, you can just use any Swift package that you want. You're free to use it. In fact, Publish supports a plugin system that are just other Swift packages that integrate with the Publish pipeline, which is super cool for what I read, to be honest. So again, as always, you need to say my Mac. And there you go. So now that we have this downloaded and we can start playing with it, let's take a look at what this does. So the first thing that you realize is that that's super cool, because you create a website and you just create your own type conforming to a protocol, and it's basically everything is that you create your own types and you conform to the protocols, and that makes the framework use your own types to configure everything. So let's see if I run this, what happens. It's gonna do the generation, right? But I have no idea what by default what it does. Like if it generates it, it puts it in a folder, it starts a server. I don't have no clue. Because usually these tools, yeah, of course. Okay, it generates. So it has a default pipeline already, which adds the files from content, it stores the items, generates the HTML, it generates RSS and a sitemap for free, which is pretty cool. And I don't know, what if we take a look, output, there you go. So yeah, this is the website. I mean, it's not a server, but we already have this. But I think I read, let me take a look. Because there was a server, I'm pretty sure, that serves things locally. Publish, deploy, no, publish, run. So if we do here, publish, run. And I'm not sure, I'm pretty, like, this is just the beginning, because I'm sure that it doesn't have like automatic refreshing while you are developing and stuff like that. Things that Gatsby has and many other of these tools have, and it's pretty cool and pretty crucial, I would say, to be honest. That's one of the reasons why I'm not gonna move right now, even if it has it. I mean, I'm not gonna move my entire website, but because my website is all in markdown files, moving it to this is not that hard. It's not that hard. I moved it from Jekyll to Gatsby, and the pain in the ass with Gatsby was basically doing everything in React, even for things that I would say it's not necessary, but it was cool to learn. In this case, it's probably gonna be the same. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to make the themes. Okay, so now if I open this, there you go. With look, it has like even a nice default theme with these borders. It reminds me of Sundell's website. Yeah, and there you go. And it has a tag, it has all the tags. That's cool. Generated using publish. It has an RSS feed. There you go. So that's what we have done, just doing anything. Now what I'm pretty sure it doesn't have, or maybe it does, let's take a look. So if I open my free post, wait, no, this is the output. What I want is the content post. If I open my free post, then I write something here. Does it detect this change? No, I don't think so. No, it doesn't. Like, I need to stop this and rerun it. Which, why it doesn't work now? Okay. Well, I guess now it did. There's some bug. Yeah, now it detects the change. Fair enough. So yeah, that's what I was saying. It doesn't have this automatic refresh of things, but it's the beginning. It's the beginning, and I'm pretty sure there are already packages that listen for file changes and update your code, and then you can just rerun the pipeline. And then it's a case of optimizing the pipeline to do it fast because that's the issue with these static site generators, that when you have many files, you need to, unless you do something smart, you are generating everything all together from scratch every single time, which is not bad if it's fast. If you make it fast, it doesn't matter, which is probably the best approach. Don't overcomplicate it and just make it real fast. So that's cool. Now let's see. So if we want to create our own website, let's take a look at what we will have to do. So if we do this, let's go through the sources. This is my website, and there we have it. This is the type that acts as a configuration for your website. Yeah, so if we change, if we do this, we have a different title. Whatever language, it's in English. Image path. That's for the logo. Okay, fair enough. So how is it? It's any path to an image that represents the website. Fair enough. So if I go to the website, I can see, and you can put a fab icon. That's cool. What I'm not sure is for what is the URL used. I guess it's the absolute URL that the website will be hosted at. Yeah, but I'm not exactly sure for what is used. So that's the basics of it. Now, so this is where you generated, and this published with the theme foundation, and there is no other theme. There is only a foundation. You can create your own themes. This is where it basically, this publish, if we look under the hood, it's basically just calling default. Oh, I don't know where I'm going. That's not going where I want. It should be here. Yeah. So it's just like a convenience method for another publish, which has a pipeline, I think it's really smart the way this is done, because it's super extendable. It's like you can do whatever you want with this, but you can provide default things, which is what John has done to make it super easy. That's super cool. Yeah, see, we can add additional steps. We can create your own steps and mark themselves, the real themes, and we have the plugins, which the plugins, I think it's just the same as a step, no? Yeah, it's the same structure as a step, as far as I understand, because you get the context and you can modify stuff in there, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's think a little bit about this. So I don't know, let's where is it? Merging yeah, the server, it doesn't work. It looks like I need to run it twice to make it work. I don't know why. Just out of curiosity, let's take a look at what it uses. So this should be the CLI, or maybe it's in core. It doesn't look like it's here, so it's gonna be in core. Website runner, I guess. It uses, okay. I guess because macOS has Python installed by default, it just uses Python server. Yeah. Would be cool if it used Neo, I guess. Not things like Vapor or anything like that, because that's too much. But definitely it would be cool if it used something like Neo. because then you don't need Python install, which I think it's not installed by default on new system versions. And it's full, so if you don't have any dependency in another system, which is one of the reasons why, if you are not into, for example, if you use Jekyll and you're not into the Ruby ecosystem fully, it's a pain in the ass, because they do updates and stuff that break all the time the website, which happens with everything. Okay, it's not just Jekyll. It happens with Jekyll, Gatsby, like even with this probably it's gonna happen. The difference is if you are into it, then you don't care that much because you know what's going on. Like if you do a change and use Neo instead of this Python server, well, you're a C developer, you know what Neo is, you know. So it's different that if these guys change. And the same for Gatsby, to be honest. Like I'm scared of touching my website now because there was a major change on Gatsby and poof, I don't want to mess with it. So that's the sad reality of the world. Okay. So what I wanted to check, yeah, that's fine. So the next thing I want to check is these types of, yeah, so you can make sections, items and pages. Okay, and sections is basically this. So I can create my own sections, static sections that you want your website to contain here. So instead of posts, I guess I could have worlds, for example. I don't know if that's how it works. No, that's BS. But I could have, yeah, see what I see. For example, I could have a section for the universe and a section for specific worlds, and that I'm just trying to come up with things to put into sections, basically. And then the item metadata. So that's one question I have. Which metadata it has by default? Section on a page which can range title and descriptions, audio, videos. Yeah, that makes sense. Default section titles. I guess the question is, if I open this boy, date description tags. So that's a thing that I don't really understand. What's, like, who is taking a look at this? So it should be the markdown files, right? But how? Like, the question is, each post has this, what it's called front matter, which is just, if I put this, it's, you basically start the file with this data, and it's a key value system. So my question is, what is this key value system defined in publish? Because I'm pretty sure you can extend it with this, I think. But the question is, from where does it come? Because these are type alias, that it's just decodable or hashable. So it's basically just a marking protocol. It doesn't contain anything at all, unless it has any kind. I mean, it's not even. Yeah, it's a protocol. Interesting. So if I search for tags, not in the package, in it's probably, what is this item? What is this item? Okay, yeah, so this is the item. An item represents a website page. Okay. Yes, there you go. So a tag is something that this system understands. Okay. It took basically the, yeah. If you look at the other generators, they, at some point, they started moving out from defining the taxonomy of the items on the tool itself. Because basically they all started in this way, basically focused on blocks, and they had categories and tags, but then they moved to be more generalist, and that meant that people could create their own taxonomies. So if you want to create, I don't know, a website that has recipes for food, you can have a taxonomy for the types of cuisines, for example, and that's not a tag, that's a type of cuisine which is its own taxonomy, and this one has the tag inside it. Okay, well, that's fair. So what is the implication of that? Yeah, for a normal website it's fine, but for what I wanted to do, if I want to merge these projects into under one website, then that's not that straightforward. Like, for if I show you this, so a while ago I built this tool that basically helped me put tags through all my posts, and you can see how in the beginning I just had the tags, see, the articles, and I started putting each tag. But then when I wanted to create this two-level structure of having different topics and then the tags for each topic, that was quite useful. I still think I want this at some point, but I didn't. Basically, like right now my website has this structure. Like I can go to specific topics, but there is no visible way basically to access them. Like I could basically put the topics here, so you have the tags, and the tags are all of them. But I could break this down in topics and offer different main pages for them, you know, which is something I want to do eventually. Although, yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, if these tags are a part of this system, well, I guess I can just extend and put what I call a topic. Like I could put topic here, and I could say development, and that's probably how it should be done. Because then if I go, oh man, Xcode, are you kidding me? If I go here and I can say item metadata, how you see the metadata? Yeah, okay. And you can even, oh man, that's pretty cool. I'm thinking, what is the sections are my topics, right? Isn't that how it's supposed to be? Yeah, the difference is that in my mind, I remember now. The difference is that when you go here, you're under block. And when I was trying to do this, I was trying to keep this structure basically. So all the posts are equal. So you can just go block and see everything. But then you tag them with this topic, and then there are specific pages that filter them by topics. That was my idea. I mean, I spent a lot of time thinking about that, and I know that it didn't go anywhere, so it's really not that important. But yeah, that was the idea. I think this structure, it was somewhere. Man, it's been so long. It was somewhere. Where? Let me take a look 1 second. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Topics adjacent. There you go. So the idea was from that tool that I just showed you a screenshot of, it did this. So basically I had each topic and the tags that contained each topic, so I could separate them, you know. That was the idea, and I guess I don't know enough yet. I don't know enough of this section ID to know if this is really gonna solve it or not. And probably the answer is just you're overthinking it, and you should just make different websites. But yeah, I like having it in one for some reason. So let me just think about this topic. So if I want to have and just say it's a string. I know we can make a type, but just let's make it a string. And I guess we can write a step that checks. I think there was an example somewhere. Ensure all items are tagged. So I guess we could do here additional steps. And we could just make isn't it called step? It has some. Okay. I don't know. Check topics. And this is the context, and there is some code. And the context, which API it has. I basically want to. I don't want to add. I want to iterate. There you go. It just gives you an array. So this is the kind of thing that I think in the long term this kind of slow down things, because you think that it's, well, I guess if the array is created, it just the copy and write thing, so it shouldn't. Yeah, maybe Swift makes it not that bad. Okay, but I don't give a shit about the order. Can you give me all the items? No? Okay. Yeah, okay, fine. Sorted by. So this is an item. So I want you to sort it. Whatever, I don't care. What is the date? There you go. by date. And now I can do a for each. I have the item, which is okay. Let's be honest, this is really cool. And now the item has some metadata, and this metadata is the same type that I defined here, so I can access the topic. Now the question is, what will happen? Because I think we have to post. Yes. What is the index? So wait a second. What is this index? Is this if I go here? Okay. See, these things are weird because you have a file, my post, but then somehow you put things here. But what if I want to put things after? That's, well, I guess it's part of the theme. So yeah, we can customize it. Anyway, the idea was, if I do this, second post, this post has no topic. So I don't know how the parsing is gonna affect, because I said it's a string, but there is no way. So let's take a bet. What will happen? Also, I like to put the date on the name itself because you cannot trust the dates. So what will happen? I will say if it's using Codable, it's not gonna find it. It's gonna throw an exception at runtime, which is a build time for a website, which is the nice thing about it. It's the nice thing about using a static site generator, that, and especially in this way, because we have compile time checks from the perspective for the app that we're making, but also the runtime of the app is just the compile time of our website, which means that we have basically checks, complete checks all the time. Okay, so, oh, that's interesting. When you run this, you don't see the prints. Okay, that wasn't expected. Also, what is my step? Check topics. Ah, here is it. Ooh, okay. Is there a, maybe the context has a way to print? I don't think so. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, we can do is here. So the step, somebody is using the name of the step. Somebody is using this name to print. I mean, the question is, there is a lot of files, so I'm not sure I will be able to find what I'm looking for quickly. Maybe I don't think so, but does the context has a add item, copy file, create? That's cool. Yeah. That is interesting. this is the message. Now, if this is the message, who is, well, it's not a publishing error, it's a publishing pipeline. There you go. Now we'll close. So for each part of the pipeline is creating command line output. Okay, so in theory, can I reuse this? Man, why does it take so much time for Xcode to open a new tab? So in theory, can I use this and say what I was doing? This command line type, I'm not sure if it needs to be imported or if it's only exactly. It's not accessible and the output it's not accessible either. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Question is, what is this bad boy defined? Yeah, I think they should be public. Yeah, or if it's not public, at least, I mean, if you don't want to make this accessible as a static function, at least it would be nice to have it in the part of the context. I will do it, to be honest. Part of the context. I think it will be interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we need to debug it. It's not gonna print anything, but I want to put a breakpoint. Although I would have expected a decodable error, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, I don't like that. Ah, I see what's going on. I see what's going on now. Because I said universe, this needs to be universe. There you go, now we're talking. Yeah, see, I would say this needs to be an error. Apart from that it's crashing, this needs to be an error. Like if I define a section, or at least a warning, if I define a section and there is no folder, and the other way around, if there is a folder here, probably there should be a warning at least, like you have a folder but you don't have a section for it, something like that. But anyway, there has been a fatal error, which is something I was not expecting. The second post has a missing metadata, that's correct. But why? Yeah, I was not expecting a fatal error, but anyway. Yeah. Now, out of curiosity, if I do this, yes, I know. If I do this, it's gonna work. There you go. Exactly what I was. Yeah, so I was right. I just was confused. So sorry for all this sidetracking with the command line tool. I still think it will be really interesting, especially for a plugin perspective. I think. I'm not sure if the plugins. I don't think so because it's in terminal. So I don't know. Like if you write a separate package that is a plugin, it will be really cool to have access to this command line output, so you can easily integrate into this style of reporting. That would be really cool. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah. So that's pretty cool, because you could have a check. Let me see. Like, imagine that we had tags. Like, imagine, I'm not sure if this topic should be a section, but imagine that it's not. What it's cool is that you could have yeah, imagine this. So we have a topic that has a name. It has allowed tags as an array. Is a tag thing? Yeah, okay. And now we have static let I don't know, topic, what we said, development, and it's a topic, and this topic is called development. An attack, what does it have? Attack is from a string literal. Yeah, why not? So we have Swift. Okay. And now what happens if I do a topic is a topic? Yep, exactly. It doesn't conform to Codable or equitable. So do I have to let me see, is there an example here? No, it just uses these things. Okay. So I guess the idea is that now you say, no, a topic, it's also this thing. And there you go. Thanks to the compiler implementing everything equitable and codable for us, now we have this for free. So the idea now will be that this shit doesn't work really, no? Because it's gonna expect, yeah, there is no way for this to work. I cannot use the default compiler generated ones. Oh, I hate this thing from Catalina. Yeah, because topic name doesn't exist. Yes. Basically, the issue is that it's trying to find these things in the front matter, but it's not gonna find in the front matter. It's just gonna find this. So what I need to is implement Codable, I guess. Yeah, decodable. Which is it? Man, I haven't been working for days and I forgot everything. Let's take a look. Custom Swift. Custom a bar init from decoder. Yeah. And it's not only that I haven't been touching any code for days, is that I rarely use a custom decoder. I prefer I don't like Medium, I hate Medium, and I hate when Google suggests it. So I guess I'm expecting a string, so encoder. Can I get just not a container? I want a single container. Decode single value. There you go. As string that's self. But that's not gonna work. Well, yes, it's gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna work. Because I need to do self name equals this and self allow it. No, it's not gonna work. Yeah, that is BS, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so the idea will be you have a list of these topics which are the supported ones. So when you have this topic, you can say, for example, topic equals topic that development. Else, well, fatal error. See, here's where it would be nice to actually have access to the command line to integrate nicely. And then, if we do this, then we can check where that the item tags. I guess we can do. Wait, what? Ah, yeah. All satisfy that the tag, no, that this guy contains, no, the development allow it contains. So map. What a mess of line. Wait, what? Again, what is a tag? I just want the string value, yeah. So I should be able to map the string value. And now that I have the string value, I should be able to do a contains of this. So if all satisfy this, okie dokie. If not, we can basically fatal error because it doesn't have it. And it should fatal error quite quickly. Should be a name. There you go. The difference is that it's gonna be lowercase. And let's lowercase this one just in case. I know it's a mess of code, it doesn't matter, we're just playing with it. And now what's the issue here? String cannot convert value to string to closure result type tag. Say what? All satisfy that this shite contains this. What's the problem? What is the problem? this attack. I think it just doesn't know that this is attack. This is the issue. This should be string. Well, not really. Yes. I think this will do what I'm expecting. So yeah, publish encounter blah blah topic. Okay. Okay, that was the same issue as before, but now we should have another one. Okay. So we found. So we said yeah, it has a topic, but here it doesn't have a tag with this topic. And what Swift? So if we say the only tag is Swift, and we say the only tag is Swift, and we run, perfect. But if we say that this is also Swift UI, and we run, gram bada boom. And if we say development, but I don't know, we say Kubril, which is the name of my fantasy world, boom, because you said development. Exactly. But if we say, I'm just something I do, like when something is working, I keep forcing it to fail until I see what's wrong. So if I do world building and I say so this was failing, but now if I say here world, now it's succeeding, and it crashed here because we didn't find this exactly what I was saying. So and instead of doing this, we need to find guard let topic. And if we say guard let topic and we do pa 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 pa, and now we say topics, and we say first, and we say first where name lowercase, come on, no lowercase here, oh so slow, equals topic name. Okay, now we have the topic, and now we have the topic here. Should work, right? Yes. Perfect. So it found the two. So one post has the topic world and an allow tag Kubril, which is the one that it's using, and the second one is development and it's Swift. So that's useless right now, but it shows you how powerful this system is, man, because you can just fucking write what you want. This can even, I can literally just get that file. I don't know if I have it open. No, that JSON file I showed you before. Read that JSON file, which basically contains this, and just check that I'm doing things properly when I'm building the website. That's pretty cool. I'm still not sure if I should have this separated, but it's an option. It is an option, and again, because this is actually Swift data, if I wanted, you can get the section, wait, I keep forgetting it's under a type. You can do this and you can get all cases, and now basically you have all the sections on your website as a type that you can play with. So I can map this and this an actual type. But it conforms to this. No, it doesn't. It's just a raw value string. Fair enough. But because we said this is just a type alias. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I thought this could be any type or you could expand it in another way, but fair enough. Anyway, you have a list of all the sections and you can only find it in one place, it's pretty cool. So that's cool. Where else? It's getting late. I should stop doing this, but I'm filling my head with these ideas. So the other thing, where is it? Yeah, the other thing is that now you can do this, which is pretty cool. Which again, it shows you how this design of this library, how well it uses Swift things. So if you take a look at here, we could extend this and say, no, not this, the publishing step, and say where site equals now our website. Now once we have this, then we can literally get this big boy and we can do a static func check tags, and we can just paste it here. And now with this, what have we done? We have basically started building a little kind of library of steps and plugins that we can easily pass to our pipeline, and that does all this work for us, and it's quite easy to follow and everything. Not this mess of code, but you understand me. Basically you can have these small things in a small library that does the specific things that you need for your website, which is pretty cool. It is, let's be honest. Now the other thing, it's the library, because there is one thing that I don't know, which is, for example, this one. So it has a theme with a factory, HTML factory, and this factory asks for the index for each section page and for each item page, and then you can have individual pages. and then the tags. See, that this is one of the things I was saying before, like, because the tags, they are integrated into the system, it knows. But I'm thinking, imagine that we wanted to do this for what I call topics. I mean, they literally should be sections, I think. But the fact that it splits them, yeah, there could be, like, I can see two ways. Honestly. I can see that. So basically, again, I remember my weird goal, and it's just to complicate my life, is to have these different sections in one. So basically, development, world building, all this shit into the same block. So I can access it in one, but also access it independently. Every time I say it, I think it's a bad idea, but I just want to follow through with the idea. So I think what you can do, we literally can merge sections, maybe? And maybe this is one of these things where you, at this point, you don't want to use the default publish. You basically want to go here, copy these steps, and basically change one of them. I don't know which. You want to, the sitemap is not going to be the same, so you want to start customizing it. But I could see how we get the context. Yeah, we have access to the items, so we could move the folders and stuff. I don't know if you can move the file, because the files are probably already created. That's why you probably want to write a custom, one of these ones that creates the files. Maybe you want to change that to put it in one. That is one way, or the other way is to. So this idea was, you have different sections, and then at build time you put them in one, which is something I tried with my old Jekyll site with a rake file and some Ruby that did that. Kinda worked, kinda. The other alternative is, what if you have only one, which is what I was doing now in Gatsby, and then what we want is here to basically add a page. So here we go through all the items and get all the sections that we have items for, and then we create, for each one we create a page. And a page, I'm assuming I just need to put the path of the page and the content of the page, which I don't like, because does this mean that all the pages need to have the same like HTML? What is content? Show me what is content. This is content. Allocation. Probably not. Probably there is a way to customize it. Okay. So yeah, that was the second. The other thing is, which it's interesting, it's using plot, GDCL, for making HTML, XML, and RSS. But if you are in the community, you probably know that there are others. One of the ones I liked was the .3 one. I think point 3, I think it's a separated one. Let's Swift HTML. See, so I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's quite similar. I don't know which one is the small differences, probably. Okay, but if you look at them, it's pretty much the same. So it will be interesting to see how easy it is if people want to use this one, which it's been used for a while now. It probably is super easy to change it for plot, to be honest. Is there anything else I wanted to try before I close this stream? Talk about performance, so that's good. That's for ink. But the plugins thing, one thing I suggested to John yesterday was to use the GitHub tags to find plugins, because I'm expecting people is gonna start writing plugins for this. And if you want to easily see them, yes, he can create some kind of page for that, but it's gonna be way easier if we use GitHub tag system for that. I see he did it already. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, the ideas I had was like, yeah, if we use this tag, now we can go here and say, yeah, there you go. Wow. I said publish plugin because I thought it would be unique enough. Apparently not. But yeah, if somebody wants to create more plugins, I think it's gonna be easy to find it in this way, and otherwise you can just use this. Now there is only Splash official plugin there to say, but I think that's gonna be nice. I think that's it. So final conclusions, I guess. This is super cool. Okay, the fact that you can write Swift, and what I really like is the API, how it's done. It's not just using Swift, it's using every single powerful feature of Swift. Everything that makes Swift unique, which I think it's really, really interesting. And you can see how extendable it is. So that's a positive for one. If I need to say some negative, obviously it's too early. Not too early to make a website, because of course, I mean, Swift by Sundell, this is done using that, and I think the one for .dc is also using the same system. So obviously you can do it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it's early to see what other uses apart from John's own usage this doesn't fulfill yet. For example, things like the reloading that I was talking about. Maybe there is a way, I'm not sure. Things like that, basically. I have these crazy sections with topics thing that I want to do. Maybe so we need to see how easy it is to do that. The second thing is all the plugin systems. The plugin is super powerful, and I can't wait to see what people develop with it. And I would say that it's also early because there is nothing yet in there, but that's not true, because all the Swift package that exist, you can just use them directly. You don't need a plugin system. As I did here, you just make a step and you write your code here, and then a plugin is just that in a nicer way, basically. Where else? So that was good. It's still too early, maybe, but I think people need to start doing this. Then the second thing is the deployment. It's just HTML, so you can put it anywhere you want, basically. Now, what will be cool is if this was integrated with things like, for example, I use Netlify to deploy my website, which is free, and it automatically builds it. You just push into a Git repo and it does it. This, as far as I know, it has support for specific builders, but I'm not sure if there is a way to actually, there must be a way, because if you think about it, you can just compile this application, and that's it. Now, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm not sure, but that would be cool. That I think that's the next step. If we can put this on our server easily for people, I would like. If we have that, I will easily move. I think I will not have a problem. And talking about move, so I'm gonna do it. Not right now. Not right now. I'm not gonna move this right now. What I may do is start looking into building this website for world building, because that's something I have a lot of like text locally, so I want to see how I will be able to publish that somehow. So that's something I want to look at, and this is probably a good example to start with something from scratch and take a look. Another thing is maybe some podcasts that I have. Maybe I can finally make a website easily for it. So that's another thing that it's pretty cool. But further than that, and it's not a criticism of the tool because it's on the title. What is it? No, not this one. It's on the description. It's for Swift developers. So this is a generic tool. But one of the cool things that I think it was Netlify, that Netlify had, they don't have it here because it's not official yet, but they have like an admin tool, and I think that's where this should go at some point. Basically have an admin tool, so basically publish this into a server and you can modify it remotely from a website, so you don't have to have this tool installed on your computer. That would be pretty great, because then I can see using this not only for myself but from other people, for closer friends that want a website but don't want the crazy things that are there, then you need to pay crazy stuff for basically kind of nothing, but though they are not developers, so they can use these kind of things, which for me is the ideal. Like I have this for the traffic I have, it's super nice to have it for free on Netlify. I've been paying tons of money for years for things like Squarespace or even servers and stuff like that, and it's not worth at all because you can have it like this. But of course it's not for everybody, so if the next step will be that further away, but that will be the idea. So I don't think I have anything else to say, just positive things, honestly. I'm definitely gonna take a look at this, definitely, and I can wait to see where this goes. So yeah, great job. It's been a great job done. Well done, John. You made us wait until the last day of the year, but yeah, it was pretty cool. So that's it. I just wanted to take a look. I'm not sure how enjoyable this has been, but have a nice day, have a nice end of the year, and that's it. See you next year. Bye.